Good evening, fellow Padawans and Rebel Alliance fighters. It is I, JT, coming to you once again on your Monday night, because it is time for two Ewoks in the park. This week, Sully and JT, the geek and redneck, as they are so called, will be reviewing episodes 7 and 8 of Andor. Has it slowed down? Has it picked up? Has it gone way the hell off course? Well, there's only one way to find out. Sit down, grab yourselves an adult beverage or whatever it is you want to drink, something to munch on, and have some fun. Sully, it's all yours.
Well, hello, everybody, and welcome to Two Ewoks in the Park, not Avenger Pretenders. I'm working on new titles and stuff like that, so yay. Hello, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. We got Mr. Bunky. We got Carol in the chat room. Hello. Guys, if you haven't watched Andor yet, what's wrong with you? Just what's wrong with you? Because
yeah, I have to agree.
Yeah, it's like whoa, and I mean whoa, because I love
you. Even got the redneck sitting here going, damn,
which is a good thing. You know,
it's a damn, not a damn.
Damn.
There's a difference. Damn is bad. Damn is good.
Yeah. Well, Carol says it's storming here, so she's at home instead of knitting. Sorry
That you're. What, you can't knit at home?
No, she is at home knitting. She has knitting group.
She says.
If I remember correctly, she has knitting group on Monday.
Yes, but she says I'm at home instead of knitting.
Oh, you know, I mean, she can do both, I think.
You can bust them out and, make us some kind of a crochet art for two Ewoks in the park.
Yeah. Be awesome, wouldn't it?
Yes, it would. But she probably didn't hear any of that because she got the ads.
Yeah, well, it's okay. It's okay. It'll be on the recording. So, hello, everybody, and welcome to Two Ewoks in the Park. And like JT said, I am Sully, and we are talking about Andor. And to this week, we're talking about episodes 7 and 8. Woo! Woo!
4 to go.
Almost done. Almost done. And then we'll be taking we'll probably be doing one episode after for the Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special, which was awesome, but we'll get into that.
I just saw that today. I haven't watched it yet, so no spoilers.
It's awesome. So we're just going to get right down to the nitty gritty of things. And like I said, if you haven't been watching Andor yet, shame on you. Because this is probably by far one of the best live action Star Wars shows. And that's saying a lot because I love The Mandalorian, and The Mandalorian is definitely like woof up there at the top.
Yes.
You know,
I would say it is at least on par with Mandalorian.
Yes. Absolutely.
At least to that same level.
Absolutely. And so far nothing is beating Mandalorian.
Right. I mean it's like, 0.00001 difference between Mandalorian and Andor.
Yeah. So if you think about it, the things that are happening now in Andor, it really does help continue to pave the way for the way the Rebel Alliance is being formed, or at least the badassery of the Rebel Alliance. The take no prisoners, I don't care type thing. We're going to do what we need to do. And in episode 7, this one's called Announcement. And wow.
I mean, think about this. You have an 80-plus-year-old lady. Okay, 80, and normally those are the ones that you see sitting on the front porch that get off my grass.
Yeah.
She's like, no, get off my planet, you freaking empire. An 80-plus-year-old lady is part of the rebellion. And she reveals this to Andor, or
Yeah.
Cassian, or Clem, or whatever you want to call him.
Well, Cassian.
but she reveals that to him because I don't think I'm skipping ahead because if I remember correctly, at the beginning of the episode, Cassian actually comes home.
Yes. So there's a lot going on. There's a lot going on.
There's a lot of jumping around.
Yeah, if you remember from the last couple of episodes, we've seen the heist. There's a lot of repercussions going on now. Coruscant is like, "Whoo, high alert, hello." Shit just hit the fan.
Yeah, all niceties just went out the window.
Yeah, like,
and any debts due must be paid immediately and in full.
Yes.
To the Empire, and they're shutting down banking, they're shutting down vacation shit and everything. It's like, what?
Also known as
lockdown.
Complete and total lockdown of the Empire.
Well, this is the beginning. It's not a full lockdown yet.
We're getting there.
They're getting everything in place. They're sending out special units to all the fringe planets and everything else. And they're tightening the net, I guess you could call it.
Yeah.
They're tightening that net and tightening their grip on or at least trying to tighten their grip on everybody.
Yeah. And one of the things that we also see is we see the former Deputy Inspector Karn is going on a job interview.
Mm-hmm.
So we've already established that Andor isn't just about Cassian. It's about all these little key players through not just the Empire side, but through the Alliance side too. And Karn,
that's kind of the neat thing about it is they're showing things from both sides of the table.
Yeah, which is cool
instead of just one side.
Most of the time, most shows like this, you see the details of what one side is doing, like JT just said, but you're not going into the details on the other side. Like, how are they handling this?
Yeah, and they're doing that in this one. Because
most movies or TV shows, it's how dare they break my wall and shit like that. I want him dead. Go and find him.
How dare you steal 100 million credits from me?
Yeah, also true.
In this case.
Also true.
And blow up my base,
How dare you? How dare you, sir? How dare you? So there's a lot going on, and Karn, the only reason why he's got a job interview is because of his uncle, who has pulled a few favors to get him back into working for the Empire. Shamed family, so he's doing whatever he wants to do, but he's doing what he needs to do as well.
Well, his mommy's kind of forcing him to.
Well, yes, you need to go out there and get a job, you bum.
Right. Well, something that just kind of stuck out to me that to me didn't really make sense was she got on him about his collar being taller.
Okay.
I didn't understand. I mean, is the collar a status symbol or something, or I didn't get that part.
Yeah, it's more of a. It's more along the lines of where you stand, so to speak, in society.
It is kind of a status thing.
Yeah, kind of like a class system.
Okay,
that
gotcha.
They're doing.
And the higher the collar, the higher the class, and that kind of thing.
Yeah, kinda.
Kind of like the blue collar and the white collar.
Yeah, pretty
modern day equivalent today.
Yeah, pretty much like that. Like, hey, you're a suit, or hey, you're jeans wearing farmer. That type of thing.
Gotcha.
And it's about how you hold yourself, or at least your family says you need to hold yourself in this type of society.
Right.
Because you got to remember, the old republic, you had high society,
mm-hmm.
but it wasn't like a major thing. I mean,
Right.
it was, but it was. They don't really touch upon it. They don't. In any of the Star Wars movies or TV shows, they don't really touch upon the way society is treating people. You know,
Right. And I think that's one of the major storylines in this that I've noticed is
Yes.
that, we're seeing the class thing play out in this a lot more, especially with Mon Mothra and, what she's trying to do and all that. So it definitely comes out more with that.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. And that's where a lot of this kind of pulls out from the underworld, the underbelly, the lower levels of Coruscant, the scum and villainy are there.
The despicable one.
Yes.
That's the word we're looking for, the despicable.
Despicable ones indeed. Yes. So from with his whole standpoint, he's finding out about everything going on just from eating breakfast. He, news reel comes up on the screen and, oh shit, we're all gonna die.
Well, I kind of like his story because, it's kind of the Robin Hood part story because, he was wronged. He is determined to clear his name.
Yes.
And get his status back and everything. And he's having to do it from the bottom rung. In this case, a fuel analyzer for the Empire.
Yep.
This is what the job interview that he went on.
Pretty much.
But it was neat. It was neat how he used it. And I won't go into that yet because we need to go into, some other stuff. But it's neat how he used his position to try to find out information on what, and get information to use for what he's trying to do in getting his status back and clearing his name.
But that's a whole nother story.
Yep. And that's what I said. We'll come back to that.
So from there, IBS is also addressing all of their head honchos. Boy, are they pissed. Like this is full on, oh shit, what are we gonna do? We need to fix this type of thing. And they also kind of, say, all right, how are we going to fix this? How are we going to retaliate? How are we going to do what we need to do? Oh, by the way, we can't find anybody.
Right.
Well, we have this, and this going on. Maybe we can look into it.
Right.
Maybe. Just a little bit. Maybe. That would be a great idea.
Well, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, no, go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, because, it goes back to the lady who, I think in episode 3, talked with the top guy and her boss and the top guy. And was like, well, we have, these 3 different incidents. I think this is going on. And he told her to come back to him with solid data.
Yes.
Well, then the attack happened. When the attack happened and the emergency imperial order went into effect, she used that to her advantage.
Yes.
To do not just a sector-wide search, to do an entire empire-wide search on, stolen equipment, stolen military stuff, and everything else, and get all that data. Not telling anybody else about it. It was done purely in secret.
Yep.
And we find later on when they have another big meeting and her boss, the black guy, I can't even think of his name.
Yep.
But he tries to call her out. He tries to humiliate her in front of everybody. And the head guy looks at her and goes, are you okay with having this put out in front of everybody? She's like, yeah, I don't have a problem with that because
Please.
he doesn't seem to care.
Please, by all means.
So if you want to do it, let's do it. And she proceeds to pound his happy ass into the ground. She smokes him so bad in front of the boss that he literally takes the entire sector, an entire sector away from him,
Oh, yeah.
which was, the main trouble sector, where the three different events that happened on three different planets.
Yep.
And he takes that away from him and gives it to her and says, this is now under your control.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But something really cool happened after that.
Which would be?
Well, he dismissed the meeting and he asked her to walk with him.
Ah, yes.
And they go walking down the corridor. He asks her a couple of questions and she answers and everything else. And then he looks at her and goes, well, actually, he didn't even look at her. He just kind of leans his head over in her direction and says, watch your back.
Yep.
And walked off.
Watch your back. and it's funny. It's funny that you bring that up because that was one of the things that and mind you, when Christy was watching it, she wasn't as into it as I am. But she had questions, clearly.
Right.
And
right.
The one thing that you have to remember about Star Wars, it doesn't matter if it's from the prequels, it doesn't matter if it's the sequels, it doesn't matter if it's the original trilogy, any of the TV shows. The one thing that always remains is the hidden storyline of backstabbing.
Oh, yeah.
There's always going to be something like that. Because in the age of the Galactic Empire, the higher you were, the better off you are.
Right. Well, and two perfect examples of that. In the original series, so episodes 4, 5, and 6.
Yep.
I don't remember which episode it was in, but Lando turned his back on Luke and Han and Leia and reported to Darth Vader that they were there.
That was out of greed, though.
And he still stabbed him in the back.
Well, yes. Yes, he did stab him in the back, but that was also out of greed and out of protection for the people of Bespin.
Greed and self-preservation.
Yes.
Which, a lot of backstabbing is exactly that, is done, but exactly because of that. Now, when we pull it into this series, the biggest obvious backstabbing event was Tim turning in Cassian.
Yep.
Which is what really kicked all of this off and caused him to get killed.
Yes.
Caused Tim to get killed. Let me clarify that.
Poor Tim.
No, he's like, he's like, I'm going to do this again. He's like a red shirt in Star Trek. They went down to the planet and one of them's got to die.
Fire in the hole.
So he was the red shirt.
Yes. JT just made another Star Trek reference in Star Wars lore.
And I'm not even that big of a Star Trek fan, but even I know that.
Yeah. So in the long run, right now, we've got a lot of things happening. It's very chaotic.
Very quickly.
There's so much going on that most of this story really takes place on Coruscant.
Yeah.
It really does.
Because it's hard to know what to talk about and what not to talk about. Because some of it's important and some of it not so much.
A lot of it's very important, especially when we find out that Luthen Rail is listening to the transmitter and he finds out that 80 million credits was stolen.
Right.
His plan worked.
Yep.
Which
he just started laughing.
Yeah, that's the thing. He just started laughing. Like, hello, I did it. Ha ha. Screw you. Boom.
Right.
80 million credits gone.
Well, and he truly never really expected it to actually work.
Yes, that's true.
But he hoped it did. He hoped it did, but he never really expected it to. So all of a sudden, when the stories start coming about, about this, uh, attack on the base, he's like, "It worked."
Yes.
So
We also see a lot of conversation between Mon Mothra and Real pertaining to the events at hand, which is good for her and the Rebel Alliance because, well, let's face it, the Rebel Alliance is now 80 million credits richer.
right, but here was the weird part about that. She does not act like it's a good thing for the rebellion.
No, I think
You know,
I think for a lot of it really more comes down to the fact of you're showing your cards,
mm-hmm.
and we can't do that.
Right.
You can't show your cards. You know,
But you can't always hide in the shadows either. Not if you want to be successful.
very true. Very, very true. And in this case, this was a very successful heist. Yes, they had casualties,
Oh
but
yeah,
you knew there were going to be casualties going into it.
Yeah, I mean they lost 3 out of the 6.
Yes.
And then a 4th later.
Yes. The other thing is, now Mon Mothra is also experiencing issues in her inner circle because even she has said that they've changed her daily driver. It's somebody new.
Well, and that had happened a couple episodes ago.
Yeah, but now it's really starting to progress and get more because she's getting that same driver over and over and over again now.
Yeah.
So
she knows that he's a spy.
Yeah. She knows something's going on.
Yeah.
And every time she goes into the antiquity store to meet with him, they do their whole spiel of, hey, we're going to be, taking a look at this item today, or we're going to be looking at that item today.
I think your husband would like this better than this.
Yeah, and they go in and they're doing the whole
using that as a cover.
And the cool thing is, Clea and Real have already made sure that store is safe, that they can talk. So he can't hear what's going on. And every single time, he's not even allowed in that store.
And hopefully he can't read lips.
That would be great. If he can read lips, we got a problem.
My question is this, though. Who do you think is the one behind the driver change? Do you think it was her husband suspecting something? Do you think it was somebody up in the in the political chain just wondering, or do you think it was just something? I can't see it just being something that happened.
I can't tell you.
You can't tell. Okay.
I can't tell you. And
that
the only reason
everything.
why I can't tell you is because it gets revealed later.
Gotcha.
So that's why I can't tell you. Now, mind you guys, JT is only watching it week to week. All the episodes are out. They're done.
Yes.
Last Wednesday was the last episode. That was it.
So if you want to be like Sully, you can go and you can binge all 12 episodes. But me, I'm taking it, small meal at a time.
He's doing a little taste test.
Well, I have to, because I think if I sat down and watched all 12 episodes, it would fry my brain.
Oh, yeah, but you know what? It probably wouldn't fry your brain as much because, just like a good TV show, you're going to have your ups and your downs. And you're gonna have you're gonna have your waves. You're gonna have the going up, coming down. You're gonna have that crescendo and coming back down. Then you're gonna have your high again, then your low. So you're gonna have that. And this has been an against the formulaic spy show, which I've mentioned in a previous episode. That go ahead.
But I was gonna say we talked about off air. You mentioned at the end of the show last week, because I made the comment, let's see how they handle the slowdown from this major rebel attack on this base that was successful and everything else. Let's see how they're going to handle that slowdown. And you kind of laughed and said, it doesn't.
It doesn't. It really doesn't. Because
it doesn't, but the way it doesn't slow down is different
Yes.
because the action, okay, slows down a little bit. But like I said, the tension
Oh yeah.
ratchets up sky high because, okay, now you've revealed yourself. Now you've shown the Empire, we're here.
Yeah.
But in episode 8, we find out that that's what they want to have happen.
Yeah.
Or at least that's what what's the old guy's name? Real or Ray or whatever?
Real.
Real. That's what Real wants. He wants them pissed. He wants them making attacks and coming after him, which makes sense, but doesn't make sense. But we'll get into that later. But it was interesting how they did this because, like I said, action-wise, it slowed down.
Yes.
But tension-wise, they ratcheted the tension up by 100.
Oh yeah.
Which still makes you feel like there's a lot of action going on.
Want to say hi to Fire Sergeant who's lurking at the moment. Hello, sir. Good to see
Sarge, what's up?
Thanks for tuning in. We're talking about Andor right now. Andor.
Yes, we are.
So if you haven't watched Andor, we're talking about episodes 7 and 8 today. Spoilers.
Yes.
Spoilers.
Yes, if you haven't watched it, pure spoilers.
But if you have watched it, you're good to go.
Yes.
You know, episodes are...
And feel free to comment if you have.
Yes.
Feel free to comment in the chat room if you have watched it and want to throw something out there.
Yeah, please. Like, Western Echo, who wanted to be a part of this show. He did. He wanted to be a part of this. He's on his way home from work.
Right.
Literally just left work. I feel bad for the guy. I really do. Because he's like...
probably yelling at me because I don't remember names. I remembered Mon Mothra, though, so you got to give me that.
I give you all the credit in the world for that, my friend.
But I think one of the coolest things that happened in this episode.
Yep.
You know, and I'd say we're kind of midway through the episode at this point.
Is that Karn gets a job?
Well, that too, you know. But if we backtrack a little bit.
Yep.
Cassian came home, which would be the one place I would not expect him to go.
Yeah.
After all of this, because, you know, his thing was, I want to make some money so I can get the hell out of Dodge.
Well, but before you do that, the reason that he went home was to get his mom.
Right. I was just going to say, I didn't think of that. Okay. And all of a sudden I realized, oh, wait, okay. He wants to take Mom and the robot. I can't understand. You blank his freaking memory. You know, you ain't got to worry about it. And you go, but he came home to get his mom and the robot so that all three of them could run away.
We're going to leave.
Go run. Like he said, let's go somewhere warm.
Yes.
You know, and that kind of thing. And, you know, at first he's like, we can leave tonight. And Mom's kind of like, oh, well, you know, can't really leave tonight. You know, I got things I need to do before we go.
Yeah.
She's like, okay, I'm going to go check in on Bix. And I'll be back by morning. We'll leave tomorrow morning.
I'll be back.
And she's like, okay, fine. He goes and he checks on Bix, and they kind of have a little conversation between the two of them where you confirm that they used to be ex-lovers.
Well, yes. I mean,
you know, we knew it anyway, but it was confirmed now.
We kind of knew.
Right, exactly. So he goes, he checks on her, and they talk and everything, and she gives him some advice. He gives her some advice, and he goes on his happy way.
Yes.
Tells him to be careful. He goes home to get Mom and the robot and leave town, and Mom's like, I'm not leaving. I'm not leaving. I'm too old.
I'm too old for this.
And it's time to fight. This is where she reveals to Cassian that she is part of the Secret Rebel Alliance.
Yes.
Okay, that just refreshed my memory. That's why that's why Real wants the Empire attacking and clamping down on everything else.
Yes.
Because just like I'm going to bring it to the modern day.
Okay.
Just like China right now, who tried to initiate the full lockdown crap again. Guess what happened?
What?
People say, So there are rebellious people coming out of everywhere over there. And that's what he wants. The more they clamp down, the more people are going to get sick of it. They're going to turn against it, and they're going to want to fight it.
Yep. Absolutely.
So, but
Absolutely.
this 80-year-old lady says, I don't want to run away. I want to fight.
Yeah. And
And Cassie is like, what the?
well, she also let him know that Tim was killed
Mm-hmm.
because, he turned him in.
Right.
We do see
And then
that.
he was trying to help Bix and ended up getting
Yeah.
a blast around to the center of his chest.
And because the Empire is already there and they're now occupying, they're not leaving. They're not
Mhm.
leaving. It's that is the perfect example of the way an occupation falls. Think about it.
Exactly.
Historically,
Yep.
any type of country or city or nation that gets occupied by an army or anything like that, they're there to
By
stay.
a
That's
foreign
their territory.
entity.
Yeah, any type of foreign entity. In this case, Ferrix was already under the Galactic Empire. They were just off to the side, not being noticed, but oh snap, now they are. Now you've got a full occupation on Ferrix, okay?
Yep.
Especially in the main city of interest. Now,
Well, and they remember they took over the hotel there in the center of town.
yes,
They took over that hotel and made it
that's their base of operations.
that's the Empire headquarters.
Yep. Oh yeah. And that's when things get very interesting. Yes.
Especially in
Interesting
episode
indeed.
8.
Which one?
In episode 8.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. But I mean, you got to remember there was a lot that happened on this. A lot that happened.
Right. Want to say hi to Enzorian, first time chatter in the group. Want to say hi.
Well, hello.
What they says, hey man, can you listen to my song real quick?
No.
We are in the middle of reviewing Andor episodes 7 and 8. So I think my answer to that right now would have to be no.
Now, maybe tomorrow.
Maybe tomorrow,
But again, that also goes against the chat, because we don't show up to your chat saying, "Hey, you should listen to us."
Right. We don't self-advertise.
We like being respectful to other streamers and so on and so forth. So if you wouldn't mind, we're not being assholes. We're not being mean, but
We're trying not to be.
We're being honest.
Yeah.
Being honest. So maybe.
I mean, hey, dude, I understand. I'm an independent artist myself. Okay, so I totally understand.
Okay.
But there's a time for it, and there's a time not for it.
Yeah.
And this is the time not for it.
How about
now? What?
Hi guys, nice to see you, first time viewer.
Right.
Become
now, what you can do is you can shoot out an email to the Sully Show. What's the email address there, Sully?
accidentalpunch@gmail.com.
accidentalpunch@gmail.com. You can say, hey, I was in the chat room last night, enjoyed your show. Could you do me a favor, review my song, and let me know what you think?
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure he already left.
His loss.
I mean, who said that?
So, back to the show.
Who said that? Now that we were so wonderfully derailed.
So rudely interrupted.
Yes, rudely interrupted. But it's all right. We don't hold it against you. So anyway.
Well, and the thing about that you got to remember on this is this whole time, Ray, I think that was his name, the guy that was the Empire guy, who took this job as a fuel analyst for the Empire. He's doing his thing.
Oh, you mean, what the hell is his name? Karn. Cyril Karn.
Karn.
Yeah.
Yes.
Karn.
Yeah. He's doing his thing.
But is he?
While all of this is going on, because we find out that he's been sending in report.
Yes, requests
Just
to view things.
Well, while all this other stuff is going on, he's sending in a report. More details on that when we get to episode 8.
Oh,
Just to tease it for you.
Oh, yes. Yes. And of course, politics is getting in the way of things. You know, we've got hyperspace routes and all this wonderful good stuff. Politics. You know, but we also have to remember that Andor leaves. Andor leaves Ferrix. He gets off planet, and he goes to the beach planet resort world of Niamos. Basically, Hawaii.
Like he said, a warmer place.
A warmer place where he can just run around and have a ball. Yes.
Well, we don't know how long he's been there, but he's been there long enough to apparently hook up with and move in with, or have her move in with him, with a young lady.
Hey, listen, okay?
Yeah, he's a young man.
There's needs, all right?
Yeah, needs. Just like, yeah. I mean, I wasn't coming down on him. I'm just saying, this happened long enough ago that, I mean, unless he's a quick worker,
anything's possible. He's not really tied to anybody. He's not seeing Bix or dating her or anything like that. So technically, fair game.
Well, I mean, they straight out said, forget about me.
Yeah.
Forget about me. You never knew me. I'm gone.
Be gone, heathen. Be gone. But she asks him to go shopping, to go buy Pizos and Revnog. And it's a galactic, a wonderful, wonderful drug, so to speak. It'll make you go, whoo. Revnog, alcohol, but the Pizzo, that's basically like your methamphetamines, your crack, it's a drug. It's a drug that'll get you feeling good. Get you feeling good. Yeah. 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 Well, at that time, as he's out, he gets arrested. Andor gets arrested. Which is weird because the shore trooper, not stormtrooper, shore trooper, there's a difference. Different camouflage, their uniforms. He thinks he's being suspicious, and meanwhile he's just like, I was just running on the beach. I was just out for a run.
He said he wasn't out running.
Well, no, he wasn't running from anybody, but he was out. He was just out on the beach.
Headed to the store.
Yeah, I'm going to the store. So they arrested him. They arrested him anyway. And they bring him to a court, and the judge says, "Well, you got arrested."
Remember when this used to be a 6-month sentence?
Yep, 6-month sentence. Which the judge sentences him for 6 years in prison, citing new imperial guidelines, and he's hauled away by shore troopers anyway, and. Cyril Karn at the same time is browsing through records of other employees. So he's already doing something that's a big no-no. Big no-no. So needless to say.
But he isn't, we don't find out about that until a little bit into the next episode.
Yeah, but think about it.
Like I said, he's been doing this the whole time, during this whole time period.
He's been using his newfound job as a way,
fuel analyst.
Yeah, as a way to get back into doing what he was doing.
Right.
And we'll get into that a little bit more in the later episodes.
Which is still focused on finding Cassian.
Yeah, he's got an obsession with finding Cassian. And don't get me wrong, every right to.
Yeah.
You
It's
know,
because of him that he's where he is.
yeah. But for now, with the end of episode 7, it goes right into episode 8, which takes place directly after the sentencing of Andor. Now, at the time, he's posing as Keith Gergo. Yeah,
Right.
Keith Gergo is how it's pronounced. So obviously he's got an alias. He's doing whatever he needs to do. It's out there. He's arrested under this name. Now, mind you, while I'm watching this, and I'm saying to myself, they have facial recognition in this software. He is now being imprisoned for 6 years.
Going to a federal empire prison.
Yes.
And they don't run facial recognition on him.
It makes no sense.
Exactly. I'm just sitting here going, really?
He's right under your noses, and yet you didn't compare the two faces. Right. Oh, he shaved. Really? That's your clue? Hello? So this goes to show how stupid the Empire is.
But I wouldn't call it stupidity.
Oh, I would, hands down.
It partly is, but it's still part of the thing that several episodes ago they were talking about. They were taking advantage of the attitude of the guards and the sentries and everything else of the Empire, of them thinking nobody's going to mess with them.
Okay. I can see that.
So it's still partially that attitude and stupid. So basically it's a stuck-up dumbass is what it is,
Okay. All right.
Yeah, it's the only way I can think to describe it.
I'll give you that one. I'll give you that one. You make very good points. I will still flat out say that they're dumb.
Yes. Oh, I agree. And you would think with having the facial recognition built into the system,
a clue, Sherlock.
that it would automatically run. It wouldn't have to be something that they program.
Dr. Watson, can you assist me, please? Hello.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, and the thing is, you can fool facial recognition for so long by shaving, or by growing a beard, or cutting your hair, not really changing your hair color. That's not really going to do it. But you can fool it for so long, but eventually it's going to say, hey, wait a minute. This guy's got like 18 out of 24 marker.
Yeah.
This is him. There's a 90% chance that this is him. Let's go pick him up.
For example, just an example, my face has not changed in years. My eyes are blue. I can't wear contacts.
Right.
I shave my head now. Even if I grew out my hair a little bit and wore my glasses, it's still me.
Nope, that is.
You have fingerprints.
Mm-hmm.
They never change.
Hey, do they do fingerprints in the Empire?
It's a little different these days.
I don't think I've ever seen them do fingerprints other than for getting access into an area.
Yeah, like, hey, you need to scan your hand on the hand. Okay,
well, they did it. They did it in the heist because they needed the head guy's hand.
Yep, to open up the doors and everything.
To open the vault.
Yep, absolutely.
So they use it for that. You would think that they would use it with the criminals.
Yep,
but
absolutely,
again, stupid.
Agreed. So they're now bringing him to Narkina 5, and that's the title of the episode, Narkina 5, where, oh boy, whoo.
I love it. What's Narkina 5?
Narkina 5 is
You'll find out.
Yeah, Narkina 5 is an off-world planet that is covered in water and land, and about 7 or 8 prisons that go deep. Really deep.
7 levels.
7 levels deep. But we'll get into that.
Yes.
So while he arrives, him and the fellow prisoners are told to take off their shoes. And the reason being is, well, they shocked the living shit out of them. So they do not walk around with any shoes on in this facility because the floors are electrified. They're timed, and you're out of line. They're going to shock you with a cattle prod, or you're dead. The floor is going to put so much voltage through your body that you're going to die right on the spot. Right. And we'll get into it, but from there, we're seeing a lot of different things. We're seeing Karn break protocol to meet up with Marrow, who is doing the best that she can in the IBS. ISB.
Yeah, she brings him in because of said reports that we mentioned before.
Yes.
And, he submitted all these reports.
And to yell at him.
Yes, what are you trying to do? What are you doing? What are you trying to do?
What are you doing here? Like what is the point of you requesting all of this? Well, listen. There are 2 people that are unnamed that were killed, and I want justice for them, okay?
Don't worry, Fire Sergeant. No worry whatsoever, man. We hope you're enjoying the show.
Listen, Sergeant, man, we're all slow at multitasking. Do you know how many times I forget to actually switch the camera over? I have the button.
If you're watching a video, doll, you'll see it.
I have a button right here in front of me to just, click the button, and I'll just forget. That's why I need
know
somebody
how much you like to push buttons too.
I do like pushing buttons. That's why I need somebody in the studio to just do it for me, so I don't have to do it anymore. Right. Hey, when this person's talking, change the channel. I changed the channel to JT, then I changed it back to me.
Right.
So trust me, we're there. He forgot to turn his on, so there you go. You're not the only one.
We're all in the same boat, man. It's just a really big freaking boat.
It's a streamer's life for me. Just saying. So this meeting between. Okay, I think we're back. Hello? Are you guys there? Are we there? Hello?
Yeah.
Hello?
Yep, we're back. There you go. Now you're not frozen no more.
I got to download part 1. Sorry about that, guys. Refresh your pages.
Yes.
Refresh your pages. There we go. And it's all set. All right, good. We're good. We're back. We're back. Sorry. OBS disconnected. I don't know why.
Damn Sully effect. Hit the button.
That's a different show. Different show, my friend. Different show. So I do apologize. Sorry about that. OBS just, said, hey, screw you. So right. Carol says she's good. All right, we're good. You may get another ad coming up. Can't promise anything, but it's there. So he tell Fire Sergeant ads.
Right.
Sorry, guys. Damn OBS.
Nothing we can do about that.
No, we really can't. Although I do have a payout coming to me on Twitch, so I got to set that up. Sorry, guys.
There you are.
My bad. Yeah, it's going to give you... So Carol, here's how it works. With the ads, and I do try to space the ads out so, they're not every 5 minutes or every half hour. Where once I go live, it'll do like maybe 1 or 2 minutes, and then an ad will show, and then kind of like a pre-roll type of ad, and then it'll be up every hour. So every hour a new ad pops up. If I get disconnected, it goes through the whole process all over again. So, sorry.
Both on it, got it.
If you want to get rid of ads, you can always subscribe to the channel. I wouldn't mind. It doesn't hurt. But yes.
Fire Sergeant says, no problem for me. That's revenue for you.
Thank you, sir. See, Fire Sergeant gets it. Streamers, man. Streamer life. So,
Yes, exactly.
All right, so
he's turning in his reports, and he finally gets the attention of the Empire, and she brings him in, and she says, what the hell are you doing? What are you trying to do? Why do you keep submitting these reports about this fuel guy who has either gone rogue or he's missing, and, he actually put Cassie's name in the report. She's like, what are you trying to do? So he goes into detail of what happened. And this is what I like about this. He finally, if you remember, when they punished him for what he did, and sent him back down, they forced him to sign the report without reading it. Sign the incident report without reading it. So we had no idea what was in it.
Yeah.
And he finally got to read the report.
Which wasn't big.
No.
He didn't have a big report.
Yeah, there was all kinds of information that was missing.
Where's page 75?
For now,
redacted.
Redacted.
Why are all these black lines on the page? Redacted.
Right. So what he was hoping would happen, in his mind, if he can get some recognition about these reports, they'll bring him in, they'll talk to him, they'll see how wrong he was.
Yeah.
He will be vindicated and blah, 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 and everything. And it doesn't happen.
No.
And he's not happy about it. And he even tries to weasel his way in by saying, I could be a huge asset for the Empire. Well, you kind of already had that chance and seemingly blew it.
It's called, he got shot down, okay?
Yeah.
Simple as that. So from there, he's like, no, pick me, I can help you, I know I can help you, and everything will be great, I promise.
I see one more report from you.
Yeah. She's not having it, so she does whatever she needs to do. She walks away and says, listen, you're done. Don't even bother again. While that's happening, Andor finds out that his prison is in the water.
Yeah.
It goes deep. Miro turns in her report for the entire ISB, and how the Imperial NS9 Star Path, which was that black box that Andor had, was stolen and recovered on Ferrix, leads her to Ferrix. Lovely shit going on now. This is one blonde you don't want to piss off.
Yeah, exactly. And you don't want to sit there and blow her off either.
Yeah.
Which is what her boss did.
Yep.
And the guy that she just totally faced when he tried to do it to her.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Don't get on this lady's bad side.
So while that's all going on, we see Andor getting indoctrinated, so to speak, into the prison. Hey, this is what you're going to do. You're going to listen to us, so on and so forth, blah, 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 blah. And we get to the point where the warden basically says, you're going to be working your time off. It's real simple. The harder you work, the more your time gets taken away.
And the better your life is, a little bit.
A little bit. Now, mind you, for most prisoners, that would probably be a godsend.
Mm-hmm.
But hey, don't screw up because you might fry yourself. Just putting it on there, just putting it out there.
And this is Andor.
Yeah.
Okay, this is Cassie.
Okay.
Well, what else do I need to say?
Yeah. So.
Yeah, I mean, come on.
The fact that he's already paying attention to what's around him.
Mm-hmm.
He's already trying to think of how the hell do I escape here.
Yep.
And it was Unit 52D. Unit 52D. So 5 meant what level they were on. What unit they were on was the 2D. That's because D was for day shift. Okay.
Day shift.
So you had 52N and 52D, and they would flip. Okay, you had night and you got day. So from there, we see a very familiar vase, by the way, which I thought was amazing. Just putting it out there.
Well, before you go to that familiar face, let's backtrack a little bit and go to Mon Mothra.
Yes,
because she's been holding banquet dinners.
Oh yes,
and it's to try to raise funds and get votes for her charity thing that she's trying to do. But she runs into an old friend from the home.
Yes.
Who is a very high political mind. And she discovers through conversation with him, because she's actually thinking about approaching him to help her with her, shall we call it, her subterfuge of the Rebel Alliance, or the rebellion.
Yep.
And he reveals to her that, he's not a fan of the Empire either. So immediate help, hopefully immediate help from this gentleman. I can't remember his name.
Yeah.
And they kind of talk back and forth, and she's going to him more about the money that she has. The 400,000 credits is what the amount that I guess it's her family fortune that she's trying to get her hands on.
Yeah.
And, he comes back to her the second time that they show them, at a banquet. And he's like, yeah, with the crackdown, they really, they're really cracking down on the banking and the money and those kind of things. So
they're coming for you. They're coming.
What was that?
They're coming for your money.
Yeah,
they're coming
exactly.
to get you. Yes, coming to get you. You're also talking about Tay Colma. Tay Colma. Yeah. He's with the Alliance.
Yes, which she didn't know. She was, like I said, she was going to, kind of broach the subject with him and see try to find out where he stood on things.
Yeah.
And he's like, hey, I don't like the Empire.
We're gonna get you.
And she's like, ding, ding, ding. Hey, cool. Yeah.
That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna get you. We're gonna get your money.
But then he disappears.
Not for long, but that's besides the point.
Probably not, because Mon Mothra asked her husband about it, and she said, well, he had to leave because he said he had an early morning.
Yep.
And that's all we see of him in this episode.
Yep. Well, while that's happening, we can see that these types of parties are also affecting her daughter. We can see that, jumping back to the prison and the factory floor, that Kino Loy, who is played by none other than Andy Serkis himself, which totally awesome, because he's now played 2 characters in the Star Wars universe. And if you don't know by now, go back and watch the sequels and you'll see.
Right.
But anyway, also one of the best motion capture actors out there. So yay. Great voiceover artist as well. Yay. But he plays Kino Loy, the manager of the 52D. And
he don't mess around.
Oh yeah, no, he doesn't mess around at all. He shows them exactly what they're doing, where what they have to build, and there's the tally in the cell that, as they put it, all the other rooms play against each other.
All the tables play against each other, and all the rooms play against each other, and all the levels play against each other.
Yes. And
Now,
he likes being in the lead.
Quick trivia question for you.
Yes.
How many days does he have left on his sentence?
If I remember correctly, it was, I want to say about 250 days, give or take.
Nope.
It was
295.
I'm going to look this up because I don't think you're right.
295 days.
Hold on.
Is it 295 or 259? I'm thinking 295 though.
On the factory floor, Kino Loy, manager of the unit, Andor introduces himself as Key. Loy tells Andor that the prisoners are competing against each other in the other floors. Loy has 249 days left in his sentence and says that he has a free hand in running this floor. Yay! I was right.
My bad. I don't know why 295 stuck in my head. But.
I was off by one.
Right. But you were still off, so you were still wrong.
If I was on The Price is Right, I probably would have lost.
But in this case, you're on The Price is Wrong. So.
But yeah. Yes, exactly. So yeah,
you just weren't as wrong as I was.
So, and from my understanding, from what I was reading into this, basically, the more you work, the more your time gets deducted, as well as each day. So each shift, each day, 8 hours gets taken off, so on and so forth, or however many hours they've got pertaining to their sentence.
It's kind of like a per diem job.
Yeah.
But you don't get paid for the number of pieces you do. You get time knocked off for how well you do in your production for each day.
Which is perfectly fine. That's perfectly fine. You know, the fact that they have this type of setup is a good thing, if you think about it. So while that's happening, he introduces them to table 5, which is where he's going to be stationed at because they just lost somebody on table 5, so they needed another hand. And they're building things. What they're building?
You know what I think it is?
What?
In the Star Wars movie, or in the I want to say it was Empire Strikes Back when they're on the ice planet and they're getting ready for the attack. The little black robot that comes up and goes around has like the 4 legs on it.
Yes.
I think that's what they're making.
No.
It's got the 4.
So you're thinking of the Imperial probe droid.
Okay.
And that's not it.
No, I thought maybe it was the base unit.
If you look
where
real
the
close,
top attaches to it.
If you look real close, it's a remind. It kind of reminds you of some type of generator, because however many they build, they all put it on one rack, and it looks like a generator. Like if you look at that one rack full of all of this equipment, it looks like one rack.
Well, yeah, but if you take many units of the same thing and stack them all together, they're gonna look like something else,
right?
And that's why I say, to me, it looks like it might be that base on the droid, on the probe droid. Yeah,
however,
I don't think they ever. I know in this episode they don't tell us what it is that they're making.
They do not. But if you also look real close, it also resembles the symbol of the Empire, which used to be the symbol of the Republic.
I would have to go back and look at the picture.
Yeah, I'll see if I can find a picture and send it to you. But it's very similar. It's not the symbol of the Empire. It's similar to it. Okay?
Right.
But again, I can't really say anything until the last couple episodes, or at least the last episode when we talk about this. So, because really we have 2 episodes left of talking about 2 Ewoks in the park. So that's 4 episodes total. At the same time, while they're doing that, Ferrix is being occupied even more now. There's more Imperial troop presence. The hotel is completely taken over. And, well, there's a lot of stuff going on. We find out that Andor's mother is sick and dying. We also find out some interesting things that Rail wants to do. Like kill Andor.
Mm-hmm.
He puts out a hit on Andor. Tying up loose ends, so to speak. If you think about it. Why? I don't know. But it's interesting to say the least.
I know it. They're making.
I can't tell you. Why did you look it up? You just ruined stuff for you.
No, I didn't really.
Oh, well,
it was. The mind says we gotta know.
At the same time, back in the prison, one of the inmates, V. Moss, decides to commit suicide. We actually see what the floor does to people in their rack. We'll call it a rack because that's really where they sleep is their rack.
It was interesting because on Andor's first night, just before everybody got put into their cells.
Yes.
Ken goes up to Cassian and goes, "You don't walk in your sleep, do you?"
No.
And Cassian's like, "Huh?" He says, "You'll see."
Yep, you'll see. Well, in the long run, what happens basically is V. Moss just decides he's done. He's over it. Steps off of his rack onto the floor and gets electrocuted. Dead.
Right from the inside.
And the best part is, just like in a prison. Man, I hope he doesn't smell all night.
And one of the guys said, "Well, we're gonna smell him all night."
You're like, all right. I mean, they came and cleaned him up right away, but it was still one of those.
I don't think they did.
Oh yeah, no, you're right. They didn't.
Because all of a sudden it goes, you have 5 seconds to get back into your beds.
Yes.
And everybody said,
"Yep." Everybody went and did their thing.
The scene ended with total silence. You couldn't see anybody in their cells anymore. Total silence, and him laying on the floor.
Yep.
So I don't think they came and got him till morning, if I remember some of the things that were said earlier.
Yeah,
in the episode.
They during their shift change is when they did it. So clearly, they don't care.
No,
they don't care.
Well, they're in prison.
But we'll also get into that a little more in the next couple of episodes because there's a lot of detail that I can't talk about until you see it. We're also seeing the occupation of Ferrix getting bigger. Bix is now trying to get in touch with Rail, which in a lot of ways is a bad move because there's so many stormtroopers and Imperial soldiers now all over the place.
Right. And she's trying to get in touch with him because Cassian's mom is in a bad way.
She's dying. She's
She's in a bad way.
And we also see another familiar face. We see Saw Gerrera pop up.
Finally, I've been waiting for this.
Saw Gerrera pops up, and Luthen asks,
I love Forrest Whitaker. He is an amazing actor.
He really is. He's so diverse, and it's kind of cool seeing him before he's got all the other robotics from like Rogue One.
Yeah.
You know, again,
Before
this
he
is
was
five
turned into
years.
3/4 of a robot.
Yeah, I mean, this is 5 years before the Battle of Yavin, so there's again a lot going on. And by the time we see him again in Rogue One, he's got all these attachments, oxygen, computers. He's basically a cyborg. And I was telling JT, you know, this isn't the first time we actually see Saw Gerrera. We see him in the Clone Wars.
Mm-hmm.
We see him in the Clone Wars TV show, and there's a
Right.
whole big thing, you know, that he is. Woof. You don't want to mess with Saw Gerrera. You don't. You don't want.
I'm going to have to go and watch that.
You might have to.
Yeah, I might have to.
You might like it. The first couple of seasons are a little slow, but you know, watch it. Watch the Clone Wars movie because you have to. And then the seasons after that, starting with season 1 all the way up until the end, the last season that Disney Plus put out last year ties everything from Revenge of the Sith and Order 66 together with everything that's happening. So there's so much backstory. And I mean, even Saw Gerrera's got like a good couple of episode arc when it comes to the Clone Wars, and it's really good. But Real wanted to know if he was a part of the Eldani heist, even though he knows he wasn't. But he also does one of those, I can neither confirm nor deny that I was a part of this.
Well, and they have this little back and forth, like, did you do it? Were you?
Did you do it? Well, no, it was you. Pointing fingers, yeah, you know, and
feeling each other out, kind of.
Yeah. And it's funny because Saw Gerrera is one of those guys that likes to work on his own. You know, yes, he's got his own people, but that's it. He doesn't want to deal with anybody else because that keeps him off the radar. Completely understandable.
Well, and he is so convicted in this that he's turning down the opportunity to get equipment that he badly needs.
Yep.
Because of the fact that he refuses to work with other people.
Yes.
And a lot of times in that kind of a situation, you would see somebody give a little bit to get something.
Yeah.
So he is extremely convicted in his beliefs of working by himself and taking care of his people.
Yes.
He referred to his people multiple times.
His people. And Rael is trying to get him to join the Alliance.
Correct.
He's trying to, listen, we got to work together on this. It's the only way we're going to win.
Right.
Clearly, by Rogue One, that hasn't changed.
Right.
But at least we know that the steps are in the right direction of, hey, we should really team up. We need to work together. And while that's all happening, we see Bix get captured. Yeah.
Well, and you know, some kid goes crazy. What have you done with my dad? What have you done with my dad?
Yeah.
And one of the Imperial officers recognizes her. And I was hoping she was going to get away. I was hoping that this episode, I knew eventually she would get captured, but I was hoping for this one she was going to get away. But when they flash from one scene to another, and you see her in space cuffs.
Yep.
And I was like, ah, damn, they caught her.
Yep.
But I love the way they ended this episode.
Yeah. And
I love it.
And the way that they ended it, aside from carrying her off, is Andor being in prison working on the machinery.
Well, no.
Yes.
When they ended the episode, they had caught her and they brought her into the hotel.
Yep. Started questioning her.
The center. And our lovely lady.
Ah, yes, Miro.
She's in the room. The father is in the room. He's all hunched over from being tortured and everything. And the guy asks her, do you want us to take him out? She's like, no.
Nope.
I want her to see him.
Yep.
So that, the door opens, they bring her in, she sees him there, she's like, get her, and then she goes, she does the turnaround. Oh, get him out of here, hurry up, hurry. And then the last thing we see is her go,
Have a seat. Have a seat. And as she sits,
When she did that, I literally got chills.
yeah, you knew
I got
she meant
chills when
business.
she did that.
You knew she meant business.
Mhm.
Because
And that's where they pick some great places, but some really fucked up places to end these things.
yeah. Well, that's the thing. You know, while they do that, that was the ending for them. But again, they show Andor and his fellow prisoners building that machinery that we still have no idea what it's for.
Correct.
I mean, we do now. At least I do. JT looked it up because, you know, he couldn't wait.
Hey,
Couldn't wait. But there's a reason for it, and we'll get into that later. So in the long run, I know this one went a little longer than normal, mostly because we got disconnected and we had to restart and do all that good stuff. So what would you give it for if we were to rank all the episodes so far with the... How many Rebel Alliance logos would you give it?
I'm sitting on the 4.
4?
I'm sitting on a solid 4.
Excellent.
I'm sitting on a solid 4. It's been really good. Like I said, I love the way that they had the slowdown, but they countered the slowdown by ratcheting the tension by 100.
Yes, indeed. And it's wonderful.
Yes,
absolutely wonderful. I'm right there with you. I'm giving it a 4. And I think if they showed a little bit more as to why they were building the machinery in the prison, it may have bumped it up a little bit, but still awesome. Still very, very awesome. We're not seeing any more backstory. We're seeing going forward now. And really, like I said at the beginning of the episode, you're getting your hills, you're getting your ups and your downs, you're getting your crescendos, you're getting the, whether there's action or lots of information, and then it's going down the hill and going back up that roller coaster ride. So I'm looking forward. I mean, I've seen them already, but you know, I'm looking forward.
9 and 10.
Yeah, it's gonna be a blast because, well, it has to be.
Something tells me shit's gonna hit the fan here real quick.
Oh yes. Oh yes. So next week we'll be doing episodes 9 and 10. Nobody's listening and One Way Out. And believe me, you're gonna want to watch it. And I guarantee you, I'm calling it right now. Between this episode and when JT messages me after he's watched the other 2, I guarantee you there's going to be a holy shit moment in there somewhere.
Okay.
Because
I love a holy shit moment. I do.
Because, like I said, I personally can't tell you anything because it's going to give it all away, and I don't want to give it away. You got to watch it because it makes perfect sense. Makes perfect sense. So, my friends, that is this week's edition of Two Ewoks in the Park, where we're talking about Andor episodes 7 and 8. Next Monday, we'll be talking about 9 and 10. Tomorrow, the Sully Show will be live at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, so make sure you tune into that. It's going to be wonderful.
Firestar, do you want to laugh? Come see us tomorrow.
Yes. Especially, you know, because we're dumb. We're dumb.
We sound really smart on this show, but we put on a good act.
We're dumb peoples. We have interactive chat and, of course, a phone number where you can join in on the conversation. So that's always fun. Always fun. So, for myself and JT, we will see you all tomorrow for the Sully Show. Have a great week, everybody. If you haven't watched Andor 9 and 10, go watch them, and we'll talk about it later. Have a great night, everybody. Thanks for tuning in, and we will see you all tomorrow. Bye-bye, guys. It's going to be a blast. Oh, yes, it will.